We're at Green I/O in London. It's a conference all about technology and the environment and how we can do things better. With me is Pirate Joe. Joe, very good to meet you. Have you had a good conference so far?
Yes, I have. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. I've been here for the whole day and a half so far, and I'm looking forward to the speakers this afternoon.
And as far as this goes, are you opening up eyes to how much tech needs to do to actually make itself a lot greener?
I certainly hope so. So one of the things I'm doing as a volunteer is I'm taking a little quiz around to people who are here for the API Days conference, so technologists who aren't here for the sustainability part, to make them more aware of the problems that digital actually faces in sustainability.
And from a layman's perspective, what problems do we have as far as technology and the environment is concerned?
Well, the Green Software Foundation puts it under 3 pillars, which I find really a good way to look at it. So from the environmental perspective anyway, one is we use a lot of energy for tech. The second one is a lot of that energy is fossil fuel based, so it's carbon heavy, carbon intensive we call it. So green tech is really looking at how we can reduce our energy and also make sure it's sustainable energy, it's green energy. So instead of, for example, we always used to create our batch processes at night, right? Because we assumed everybody would be asleep. Whereas now it's actually maybe we could push our compute heavy jobs to times when it's windy or the sun is shining, so that we have more likely to have green energy available to do those big batch processes. And then the third one is our devices, so the longevity of our devices. At the moment, e-waste is actually one of the biggest growing waste areas in the world. So there's a lot of difficulty with that. So what we do in green tech is think about how we can extend the use of our devices, how we can reuse them, because recycling, it still has a lot of difficulties with it. But basically, even thinking back to a couple of years ago, we used to get phones every year. Like that was the trend. Our contract ended, I'll get a new phone. Even that has changed in the last few years, and now it's a 2-year contract. So it's at 2 years until you get a new phone, or you try and hold on to it for as long as possible, like me, and have no battery life, but we don't talk about that, right? But so those are the kind of 3 main pillars, is the use less energy, use more sustainable energy, and use our devices for longer. So actually we're maximizing the efficiency of those devices as well. So you can take that to the data center, into green ops kind of space, and that's thinking about, at the moment, we have we leave a lot of extra space just in case, processing power is needed. So we're not maximizing the use of the infrastructure, the servers that we have in our cloud spaces, basically. We also have things that are always on technology, rather than things like using lambdas, which come on when they're needed. So we have the ways of doing this. And even going back to tech 20 years ago, when we didn't have endless space in the cloud, we know how to program that way. We know how to create software in a sustainable manner. It's just a case of kind of shifting our mindsets back to an almost scarcity model in the way that we design and create the software systems.
Now that's coming out very strongly with the implementation of AI, because that seems to be completely and utterly energy hungry. It's incredible how much energy it's eating up, and it just seems unstoppable that every new tech, we go, great, we got new tech, and no one thinks about the environmental impact that will have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AI is a difficult one, and quite a few of the sessions today are about AI, thinking about how we can make it more sustainable. So there are various ways that you can look at. We have even, there's greenpt.ai, so they are based using servers that where the excess heat from the servers heats buildings, for example. So it's taking that slight step back and looking at the holistic picture rather than just focusing on what you need. It's actually thinking about the waste streams, so circularization of tech in a way, and looking at the waste streams and how we can use them better, rather than just thinking, it needs to be big, it needs to be all together, it needs to be in the cloud. It's breaking those down and thinking, how can I do each of these a little bit better? So for example, the conversation we were having before, for the layman who isn't a techie person, right? Where you think about how do we we use our data? What is the best method of communication? So for example, after COVID, everybody was at home, everybody was on Zoom calls, and we had to have our cameras on all the time, right? And it's still recommended because you can see people's facial expressions, etc. However, especially if you've got like a 50-person call, how many videos do you actually need on in order to see how people are reacting? Yeah, and every video that's on costs you more data. So that costs you more carbon, basically, is every time you have your video on. So it's thinking really about when is it valuable to have these things and use these things, and when is it not. Another thing is thinking about your data policies, for example. So we tend to have, especially in insurance and banking, we've got data retention policies because certain pieces of data need to be kept for a certain amount of time, whereas we have no data deletion policies. So how much bad data have you got because your company hasn't gone and cleared out your documents from 7 years ago, or your photos on your personal phone? Like, how many times do you go and delete your photos? Not too many times, right? And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is I found out about email. So email is about 100 times worse at communicating than instant message, basically, any kind of instant message. So I went and had a look at my emails. Now, you'll never guess, it's bad. I had 35,000 emails in my inbox. They weren't unread. Half of them were unread. I hadn't even deleted them. So now I have 15 minutes every Friday in my schedule to go and delete emails. I'm still trying to clean out that inbox, but at least I'm getting through it because I'm building into my processes. So I believe we need to build sustainability into everything that we do, because otherwise what future do we have, right?
That's a fantastic answer and some wise words there. I feel exactly the same with my photos and my emails. We mirror each other amazingly there. Well, Pirate Joe, thank you very much for speaking with us, and we hope you have a very good conference.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.